one of the things that I am always doing is looking for that low-hanging fruit. Where are the deals out there? Because frankly, I have a limited budget on what I can buy. And so if I'm spending all of my money on one or two cards, it's going to make it where there's other stuff I can't get. So I'm a real deal hunter, and I look for those things that I think are undervalued. One of the places that I feel like cards are undervalued is when there's a massive card in a set. People tend to put all their attention into that one card. And what that does is it leaves the others as somewhat unnoticed because they're in the shadows of that huge card. One of the things that I think is in the shadows of other cards and other sets are the early Bowman cards. I've mentioned them before. I'll continue to talk about them, but I really think they're the best deal in town. As soon as the 52 top set came out, it just dropped this huge shadow over all Bowman cards, and it's still there. And it took all the attention, and all the collectors that want to collect from the early 50s gravitate to that 52, 53, 54, 55, 56 top sets, which are really an incredibly awesome run that Topps went on. But behind that are those Bowman cards, which are awesome. So what I would recommend is take a good look at those Bowman cards that are out there, because there are some big time Hall of Famers for some very, very affordable prices. I want to take a look at a couple of rookies here, but then I also want to take a look at 10 big time Hall of Fame players with Bowman cards from 1950 when they went to full color to 1952 before they had a bit of a style change. But to me, from 1950 to 1952, Bowman is a sweet spot with some really cool cards that are overlooked and very, very affordable. Check these out and tell me what you think.
All right, so first let's look at a few of these Hall of Fame rookie cards. Now, there are several Hall of Famers in this stretch, but the 1951 Whitey Ford. Now, look at this card. This is a really cool picture of a really good player. I mean, his win-loss percentage, his ERA, he was really, really good for a dynasty team. His rookie card is still extremely affordable. 1951, we got Monty Irvin. Now, I recently showed off mine that I bought not that long ago, but again, a pretty good grade one here, a pretty good looking card. And the cards up, the pictures up above are of the cards with the sale price down below. And I mean, these are both nice looking cards. And then in 1952, Minnie Minoso has a rookie card. He has a 52 Topps, but he also has this 52 Bowman. Personally, I actually like the 52 Bowman more, my personal opinion. And when I look here, the price for a 52 Minnie Minoso Bowman rookie is, I mean, again, we've got 3 Hall of Famer rookie cards here, and the prices just aren't that high. So let's go through our 10 players that I want to take a closer look at. So in 1950, we got Richie Ashburn. Now, we'll be looking at the 50, 51, and 52 for each of these 10 players, but look at this. It's $46. Again, remember, we're talking about $25 worth of PSA plastic and evaluation, or SGC, whichever the case may be. But both of these are under $50, and just the encapsulation and the grading and the authentication is going to be about 25 or so of it. So when we look at these prices of these 3 cards, we're talking about a really good player. You know, he was in 6 All-Stars. He won a couple of batting titles. This guy won a couple of batting crowns, and he can get his card from 75 years ago. Yogi Berra, again, I think Yogi Berra might be the most underappreciated player of all time. 18 All-Stars. He has 13 World Series rings and 3 AL MVPs. But the 1950, his first full-color card, that's his third-year card. And then that 51, his fourth-year card. You can get his 51 for $140. Now, all of the cards that we're going to be looking at here are somewhere between about a 2.5 and a 4. I tried to do a 3 if there was a comp available. So most of them are 3s, but I mean, under $150 or right around $150 for a third, fourth, or fifth year Yogi Berra, one of the all-time great players, one of the all-time great catchers. Another all-time great catcher is Roy Campanella. Now, this is a Campanella second-year card for that price. I mean, his rookie's a 49. Now, my favorite Campanella card is this 51 Bowman, and it's under $100. And again, these aren't super high grades, but to me, that 3 range is going to be a card that's got very nice eye appeal if you pick one that has good centering, but it's not going to have like a ton of creases or a ton of, it's not going to have any paper loss or anything like that. And then the 52 is under $100 as well. So again, I mean, Roy Campanella, he won 3 NL MVPs, 8-time Major League Baseball All-Star, and a 3-time Negro League All-Star. Larry Doby, I mean, Doby's the second black player, the first black player in the American League. And you can get his 1950 card. You know, we're talking about third and fourth year cards here, both for under $100. It is the same picture. Bowman got a little bit lazy on a few players here between 50 and 51. The 52 is different. But I really like the looks of that 50 and 51 Doby. I have a 50 myself, but he won 2 American League home run titles, a 7-time Major League Baseball All-Star, a Hall of Famer, a really, really important historical player. And again, these are decent condition cards. Now, Bob Feller is another very, very overlooked guy. Now, his 50 is a little bit pricey. This one might be a little bit more just because it's so well centered. But Bob Feller's cards, his 51 and 52, are really cool pictures. And Feller's an 8-time All-Star. He won a Triple Crown. Not a lot of pitchers have won a Triple Crown out there. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, which there are a lot of guys who are not first ballot Hall of Famers. I mean, heck, Yogi Berra wasn't even a first ballot Hall of Famer. But Bob Feller is. And you can buy his card in a 3 for under $100. And this is an early one. This isn't like his last card. So, again, I think these Bowmans are super good value. You know, Peewee Reese, really important player on another dynasty team. And, you know, he went to 10 All-Star games, won a couple of World Series titles, and was an integral part of their system for several years. And, you know, you look at, again, the 50 and 51 have the same image used, which, again, Bowman did do that on a few of these guys. But look at the prices. You know, these are pretty decent-looking cards. And, again, under $100. For Peewee Reese, a very recognizable name from a very popular team. I love the B for the Brooklyn logo on the hat. Shows off before their move across the country. I just think that when we're pulling Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer for under $100, of the 30 cards I'm going to show you here, 20 of them are under $100. Robin Roberts, another outstanding pitcher. Four times he led the majors in wins. And 2 times he led the majors in strikeouts. A 7-time All-Star. He's not one of these guys who's just like a minor star. I mean, he was one of the best pitchers of his era. He won almost 300 games. And I think all 3 of those cards are gorgeous. And what we have here are 3 very cool cards, again, for well under $100 in a pretty decent grade. Again, we're not talking about 6s or 7s, but if you're a collector of Hall of Famers and vintage cards, I'm telling you, this 50, 51, 52 run of Hall of Famers is the place to go. You know, Duke Snider, another integral part of that Dodgers dynasty. He has 8 All-Star appearances. He won an NL home run title. He had over 400 home runs. I mean, we're talking about a very important player for a key team. And, you know, anytime you're playing in the outfield for the Dodgers and such a popular team, you are going to be noticed. And Duke Snider certainly was. And the 50 is his second-year card. So we're looking at his second, third, and fourth-year cards here for either just under or just over $100. And these are nice-looking ones. Now, to me, one of, if not the most underrated player, at least pitcher of all time, is Warren Spahn. 17 All-Star games. He led the National League in wins 8 times. He led the National League in ERA 3 times. And he led the National League in strikeouts 4 times. He won a Cy Young. He has 363 career wins. And his rookie card is a 1948 Bowman. So we're talking about his 3rd, 4th, and 5th-year cards here. Very, very reasonably priced. In pretty nice condition. I mean, all 3 of these are well centered. They don't have any distracting marks on them. The corners are all, you know, they're soft, but they're really nice looking cards. And in each case, very affordable. Another very overlooked guy is Early Wynn. His cards don't go for anything. Here's his 50 for $44. He won 300 games, led the majors in wins twice, led the American League in strikeouts twice, led the American League in ERA. He's a 9-time All-Star. And, I mean, the 51, $25. Again, that's less than it costs to get the card graded. In all 3 cases, the card is almost free when you talk about the cost of the grading. Why is Early Wynn getting no love? These are 10 really important players from this era. 1950, 51, and 52. I think all of the cards are really cool pictures of a really cool group of players for a very affordable price. Are you surprised by these prices? Again, 20 of those 30 cards of the 10 players I featured were under $100. Why are they so cheap? If you are a vintage collector and you collect Hall of Famers, this is the place to go, in my opinion. It's a great deal.